a little bit more room. Hey, follow the football! And a big man scramble in!
The action pass to him. He fires to the top. One-handed catch.
Buchanan Simons is open. Breaks the tackle. This is going to be a 70-yard touchdown. Buchanan Simons. Over the top, and that might be the most impressive interception all day. What a shoot!
Breaking through a tackle.
Oh no!
What a ridiculous sequence of events.
He's got Heath McDaniel Jr. inside the 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Carolina.
The kick is blocked from Zuderveld. It's loose.
How? What?
And welcome to Sim Football pregame along with Mike St. Green. I am Cameron Irvine and happy to be here on this Sunday morning. Mike, good morning.
Good morning, Cam, man. Great to be here this morning.
Yes, we are super excited to be here today. We've got some great games on the docket. If you missed yesterday's action, 5 of 6 games were decided by 8 points or less. It was a tremendous day of football, and we hope we have another one in front of us. Here's what we have coming up. Today, Louisiana hosts Lone Star, a huge game for both teams. They have to get out of the cellar, especially Louisiana at 0-3, but maybe even more so for Lone Star, 2 games back of the division lead. Jacksonville and London follows that, and then D.C., Mexico City, Florida, and Fort Worth later. Mike, what stands out to you this afternoon?
Yeah, Cam, as you mentioned, our first game out of the gate, man, Louisiana and Lone Star, both teams struggle a little bit coming out of the gate. Lone Star 1-2, Louisiana 0-3. Lone Star, they are coming off of a huge win last week, convention weekend in overtime over Carolina, and they're hoping to build off that today. Meanwhile, Louisiana, they're off to a slow start for the season. And they want to get that turned around today. They have 3 former members of Lone Star on their team this season, and Cameron Collier, Doug Day, and Coach Brian Craven. And they've struggled adjusting to some of the newcomers on this team. Rookie quarterback Tommy Utah. Tommy Utah. He struggled coming out of the gate a little bit, but they want to get a heavy dose of Reggie Streeter. So we're looking if they can get off the snide today.
We shall see, and as we get set to go, we are prepping for kickoff here. Chris Curtis will be on the call for Lone Star and Louisiana coming up after the break. This has been Sim Football pregame presented by APM Music, and we'll be right back after this.
for the fans welcomes you to the following presentation of the Simulation Football League.
A look along the Houma swamps a few miles away from Stack Up Stadium, the home of the Louisiana Revolution. They are 0-3 with one of the toughest schedules so far in the SFL, and they go up against a Lone Star team who can actually say the same. Chris Curtis, Brett Solberg, with you in Louisiana as we get set for a Week 4 matchups, kicking off Sunday action on For the Fans. We're ready to go with the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. Brett, this is a matchup with Tommy Utah. I'm going to bring up him. He had his first touchdowns of his career in last week's loss against Vancouver, and he looks to come forward with a bit of a momentum coming from his week 3 performance.
Yeah, Tommy Utah is definitely shaking off the rust after these 3 weeks here. However, Louisiana still at 0-3 to start off the season here, so they need to find a way to get to that W and get their season going. As for Lone Star, they're kind of in the same situation as well. They have their own tough division, and they're 1-2. They're a few games back from the top spot, which they've been at before. So both teams really looking to shake themselves up and get their season going here. So it's going to be an interesting matchup from both sides, Chris.
It's with Tommy having a good performance. You got to take a look at Ace Fennick. He also had a really good performance, 350 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions in last week's performance. And this is a good one. We have a young quarterback on Louisiana, Ace Fennick, also a bit young on his side, but they are flanked by 2 very good running backs, one on each side, Reggie Streeter and Ike McBride.
Yeah, both running backs are going to be very deadly. Both teams have utilized the football very well on the ground, both averaging over 100 yards per game so far through the first 3 weeks.
We're ready to go. Week 4 on this Sunday afternoon. About set to get kickoff. Louisiana is going to start with the football as Lone Star is going to kick it away. Kick is up and gone, and we are underway from the swamp. We are at the 15-yard line. Return left at the 25 to the 30, taken down at the 31-yard line, and that is where Tommy Utah will start his day. He's flanked, like I said, with Reggie Streeter. He also has Cameron Collier back there. Reggie also a receiver that is pretty handy out of the backfield. 7 receptions a week ago. See what they have for us on first down. Split backs for him. Tight set up front. Looking like they're going to send extra help. They don't. That's going to go to the outside. Quick catch and release out to about the 35-yard line. First reception of the day for Garrison Blue, the tight end.
Yeah, going back to Tommy Utah here, he had a very nice quarterback battle last week against Vancouver, but was just ultimately outmatched by the receiving corps from Vancouver. But it still had a great showing for him with over 350 yards himself.
Get the rest of the offense in after this play. This is to the outside, caught, and a first down. Quick one out to the 42-yard line is where they're going to put him. That, I believe, is B.E. Robo. 7 catches for a whole bunch of yards last week. He adds another one here.
Yeah, and Robo is just starting where he left off there. He's getting a nice catch right on the sidelines there to lead to that first down for Louisiana, and they're starting to chug early on.
Flip backs again, 2 to the right, 1 to the left for Utah. Handoff, Reggie Streeter's first carry, and he will go absolutely nowhere as he gets downed just behind the line of scrimmage. We talked about Garrison Blue, talked about B.E. Robo. How about Mike Twinscrew, as well as Chase Earl, the other wide receivers? And then the fullback Cameron Collier caught a pass out of the backfield last week, as well as getting a rush in. So he'll be somebody to take a look at. Maybe they add him more to the game plan. 4 on the line defensively for Lone Star. Offset I formation for Louisiana. Under center, looks to throw, get it to the outside. Streeter has the football in the open field, tries to break through 2 Lone Star Glory players, and it gets taken out after a 4-yard gain at the 46.
Yeah, the one thing we know about Reggie Streeter is that he is deadly quick with the football no matter what happens to him, whether he gets the ball off a handoff or through a pass. And they're trying to rely with him on that one there, but only got a 3-yard gain.
See what they do on this third down. First third down we'll see from Louisiana. And that's up the middle. Quick catch, but not enough for the first. It'll be a 3-yard gain Not much more than that for Chase Earl, and that'll be a punting situation for the Revolution.
And we got to remember from last week, Lone Star only allowed 3 points despite losing the game against Carolina. So their defense has been stout over the last, I would say, week and a half here at least there. So Lone Star doing a good job after that first down, getting the stop and forcing a punt situation for Louisiana.
Punt upcoming. This will be a reception back at about the 14-yard line. Quick juke to the left, gets him a couple yards on the kick return. To the 20 is where the Glory will start this drive. And we bring out the quarterback who had a very good week last week in the win against Carolina. And that was Ace Fennick, as he's looking for the Ace to Deuce connection to carry him again.
Yeah, and he was very deadly accurate last week. 41 of 48 for 354 of his own yards to lead the Lone Star offense that way. Just unfortunately got a loss.
Fennick in the gun. Left-hander puts it over the middle of the field. That one's tipped and incomplete, deflected by the defense. Good work as Ryan got a hand on it, and that's going to be a 2nd and 10.
Mike Ryan, just the right guy at the right place at the right time on that one, getting a nice deflection. And Ace Fennick already wanting to start off early with his passing game to start where he left off here. Maybe inch a little bit closer in the ladder for passing yards for the season against a bunch of quarterbacks right now.
Mike Ryan, 3 pass deflections last week, adds another one to the start of this week. Fennick is in the gun again. Like McBride to his right. Looking to throw. Nope, he's going to get taken down. Took too long in the pocket. He gets taken down on the sack. It'll be a 7-yard loss, and it's 3rd and 12.
And it's a very nice job by the Louisiana secondary to cover Ace Fennick's options here so that the defensive line can do his job there. And Derek Jenko, right man at the right place, gets the first sack of this game here.
In the gun. 3 to the right, 1 to the left for Fennick. 2 sacks all of last week for this Louisiana defensive line. They have 1 already. To the outside. That one would have been a pick 6, but it'll hit the ground harmlessly. Bennett nearly brought it back to the house. Instead, it'll be a Lone Star punt.
You can tell Tank Bennett was just absolutely ready for that pass there. Just so unfortunate for him to just bobble that ball a little bit there. Maybe he was ready for the catch, maybe a split second too early, and it just out of his hands and onto the ground. And like you said, that was probably 99.999% chance of a pick 6 there.
Very, very dangerous times. Punt upcoming. You're going to get it probably back to midfield, if not a little further. No, back to midfield we go. To the 42-yard line. He's going to be taken out there, and that is Louisiana starting with fantastic field position on their 2nd drive of the day.
Yeah, anytime that you can start off your own drive, basically in enemy territory to start off, you're thinking to yourself, man, I got to get some points out of this. So Tommy Utah, Reggie Streeter and company, they really need to, all they really need is about 10, 15 yards, and they're already in field goal range.
2 to the right. Streeter in the backfield. 4 on the defensive line. That's going to be a free play to the outside. It's caught by Streeter. Streeter with a spin. He's going to get taken down after an 8-yard play. We'll see what R62 has to say, but it looks like Louisiana would likely take the yards. Yep, they do accept it. So the Revolution will take the yards. They'll move into 2nd and very short, and it'll give a nice reception for Reggie Streeter out of the backfield.
Yeah, I was thinking it could have been either way to accept or decline the neutral zone infraction call there, because they got an 8-yard gain from Reggie Streeter off that dump pass there. So not a bad idea going with a 1st and 5 instead of a 2nd and 2.
You in the backfield, handoff Streeter, going to juke through the middle. Does he get the first? He does. That's going to get him all the way down inside deep field goal range at this point to the 26-yard line, maybe the 27, but Streeter's on a bit of a roll.
Yeah, and as much as we talk about Reggie Streeter's speed, we also have to talk about his resilience with the football as well. Whenever he gets a man on him, he still fights for as much yardages as he can. And as you can see on this play here, just 2 men basically draping on his legs, basically trying to get him down as quickly as possible. But he fought to get to that 1st down line and then some.
1st and 10 from the 29 is what they're going to say. Streeter again through the middle with a burst of speed. He's going to break a tackle, but he's taken down just past the 20-yard line to the 19. They'll say 2nd and inches at this point.
It's Cameron Collier with that hit
you're
there, right up the middle with that fullback dive. A lot of people in the SFL community love to see the fullback dive, especially. I got to shout out Ray Bentley on that one there.
Yeah.
He loves the fullback dives here, and it's good to see a 9.5-yard run from Collier.
Yeah, don't see that very often. That a burst of speed like a running back. Nice work. This will be Streeter through that middle. First down and more inside the red zone to the 17-yard line. Visit the SFL League website at simulationfl.net for info on how to create a player, join our community, our league, and the teams that play in it, as well as a comprehensive history of the SFL. It's over 1,500 games, and it's thousands of players who have hit the virtual field. The Simulation Football League, 17 seasons strong. First and 10. That's going to be through the middle again. Streeter, first down and more inside the 6-yard line to the 4, actually, is where he'll get first and goal for the Revolution. This has been a very good drive from midfield.
Yeah, and it's been basically all runs at this point. We haven't seen too many passes on this drive, if at all, just because I know that my brain is already having short-term memory issues this morning. But with Reggie Streeter having the burst of speed and the strength that he's having so far in this drive, why not keep going with him as he keeps going with these 9, 10, 11-yard gains? And now they're inside the 5.
Revolution looking to get something done. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Handoff through the middle. It's Streeter. Does he get there? No. First, second and goal at the 1. Very close. But Reggie is already having a pretty decent day very early on in this game.
Yeah, you saw that on the bottom ticker there. 25 yards over just 5 carries, which is very good to see already in this first quarter to get Reggie Streeter going there. Just unfortunate after that break tackle there, he kind of basically ran to another defender.
Right through. Does he get in? No. Another one at the goal line, about the half-yard line, more or less. And it's third and goal coming up.
Yeah, it looked like the linebacking core there from Lone Star was ready to blitz that ball as heavy as possible there, basically met Reggie Streeter at the line there. And now Louisiana, there's option time here. Do you go with Streeter one more time?
Could, but it looks like they're going to go empty back. Nope, never mind, not empty. It's going to be offset, and it is going to be a touchdown through the middle. Reggie Streeter gets the first points on the board for the Louis Revolution.
Yeah, and that's what Louisiana wants here. They want to get the first points of the game, start the momentum for this Louisiana team that hasn't had a win so far this season, which for the coaching staff it's been tough for them with all the games that they've played so far against very tough teams. Getting the 6 points right away means that they have a lead to start off in the first quarter, which I believe so far this season they haven't had too much time with a lead in any games this season.
Well, now they get the chance to try to preserve it. Extra point upcoming. It's a low snap. Kick is still up and on the way, and it is through. Dangerous times, but they do make it happen. And that is going to bring up the next drive after the kickoff. We're ready to go for giving Lone Star back the football. Still got about 4:16 left in this first quarter of play. Chris Curtis, Brett Solberg with you on a beautiful Sunday afternoon in Houma, Louisiana. Just shy of the swamps out here, as we are ready to go for the kick. Lone Star with their second drive on offense, expecting a little more of a diet of Ike McBride. She can make an impact if given the opportunity. She's shown that with over a century mark in yards a week ago, and I think if they get her the ball in space, she's going to be able to do something with it.
Yeah, any week is a threatening week for Ike McBride. She's got basically one of the best agile feet in the league, I would say. Yeah. If you don't consider her one of the fastest players, you have to think of her as like the quickest on her feet. The way that she turns direction and changes speed, she's always dangerous.
Let's see if she gets it on first down here. Nope, not going to happen on this play. It'll be aced over the middle, tipped and nearly intercepted a couple of times. That's going to hit the turf. Nothing doing. It looks like Axis, the intended target, didn't happen to hit the ground.
Yeah, and there's a couple of secondary players there for Louisiana, basically right at Axis there to deflect that pass, and it was up in the air for a little bit. It looked like it was going to be one of those tip drill interceptions, but it fell on the ground, and Lone Star now is a second down.
3 to the right, 1 to the left for Ace. Fennec has the football, play action. Looks to throw over the middle. That one's going to be a catch. Not much to that play, but it got him a few yards, made third down more manageable. 3rd and 4 coming up.
Yeah, Sunu Nakai with the catch there, the starting fullback for Lone Star, doing a nice little bit of a through the offensive line route there to get himself a nice pass. And like you said, it's a third manageable now. Let's see what they can do on this third.
Nakai, 1 catch last week for 4 yards, and he's already eclipsed his yard total for a week ago. This will be a throw over the middle. That one is tipped and nearly intercepted again. Looked like it had a chance to end up in the Lone Star receiver's hands, but the defense jumped all over it.
Yeah, that's again another dangerous pass thrown by Ace Fennec there. I understand why they're doing it though, because they want to get their passing game going like they did last week against Carolina. Where Fennec had basically all the success that he could have. But just so far, he's already 1 for 5. So I would say next drive that they get, look for McBride a little bit more.
That is going to be a punt, end over end. Twin Screw back to receive. Fair catch called for at about the 36-yard line. And that is Louisiana getting back the ball. Want to send condolences from the broadcast crew and the SFL, obviously, to Lone Star Glory wide receiver Dave Axis. The passing of his sister-in-law, Laura Demery, was her name, 54 years old, after a 28-month fight with glioblastoma. I believe it was a cancerous type of disease that I'm not really sure of the definition of that and how that works, but either way, a definite bit of condolences out to the family from everybody here in the booth and with the SFL. It was an emotional weekend, not having Dave, and then of course the podcast we had a few days ago with him going over everything. It was tough to hear the grief that they were going through.
Yeah, there's the whole SFL community felt a little empty with the departure of Axis for a little while there, but it's good to see him back out on the field. Yeah,
absolutely. We are ready to go for this over the right side. That one's intercepted, and that's coming back the other way. Lone Star turns the ball over out to the 45-yard line, and wouldn't you know it, first pass of the drive ends up in the hands of the Lone Star defense.
Yeah, it's a very nice job of recognition from the Lone Star secondary there. They were looking to go deep with B.E. Robo, which Robo has been very, very impressive with these deep routes so far this season. So it was a very nice recognition play from Lone Star. And now, despite their first 2 drives kind of going null here, this has to carry some momentum for the Lone Star offense.
Mickey McGuire on that interception, had a tackle last week, has a bigger week this week already. This is going to be a hit behind the line of scrimmage. Still stayed on his feet for a long time, but it ends up being, I believe that's going to be a sack. I think the handoff actually finished as Louisiana gets through the offensive line. It is a sack.
I think Fennec has to be a little bit, if not angry, a little bit disappointed by the offensive line, because that Louisiana defensive line basically got to Fennec within a second or two, so he had absolutely no time to get that ball out.
Flip backs. Fennec to go. Looks, throws, and that's going to be short, but it's going to be a catch, and it'll make 3rd down and 4 a thing again for the Lone Star offense. This one to Axis over the middle.
Yeah, and this time the offensive line helping out Fennec instead of letting him down a little bit here, giving him plenty of time to look around, go through his progressions, see who's open, and Axis down the middle with his cross route manages to get that catch there. And now it's a 3rd and short.
This will be through the middle, trying to get to their third down conversion. It did not happen as McBride is taken down, and she will get taken down by Day through the middle. It'll be 4th down, and the Glory will punt one more time.
And everybody's favorite Twinkie duo, the one guy there, Doug Day, with the tackle there to stop Ike McBride. Interesting that Lone Star decided to go with a run on 3rd down instead of a run on the 1st down there, going with 2 passes. Very interesting play calls so far from Lone Star.
That kick is up and away, trying to lock down the Revolution deep in their own territory. 15-yard line is where it's caught by Twin Screw, and that is where the Revolution will start this next drive. They're now their 3rd drive of the day. One of them, the last one, ended in an interception. The one before that, a touchdown. So a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde offense, but Lone Star seems to be trying to figure it out.
Yeah, it's been a very quick back and forth between these drives so far in this first quarter.
Minute 13 to go in this first quarter. Utah Oh, as he threw, he did get rid of it, but that's going to be a hit and a 2nd and 10. No fumble as Caudell gets in front.
Yeah, I thought Tommy Utah was going to get that ball off and see a deep pass happening there, but Bobo Caudell was right there, ready to get right into Utah's face there. And as just before he was going to release that ball, Caudell basically reached right to his hips and dragged him down, so the ball went to the ground instead of in the air.
Split backs formation for Utah. Handoff Streeter. Streeter trying to bust through the line. Not going to happen. He's taken down behind the line. They're going to say right at the line of scrimmage, but it looked like it was behind. 3rd and 10 coming up as we will get to the 15 again. And another big 3rd down. A lot of 3rd downs for both of these sides on offense. They're having issues moving the ball on the earlier down, which is making things tough on the 3rd.
You also got to give credit to the defense and stopping on these 3rd downs as well.
5 wide, Utah. Louisiana looking for their 2nd 3rd down conversion. That one's deep right side. That one's caught down the right sideline, past the 40-yard line to the 45, taken out at the 48-yard line, and that is going to be B.E. Robo, his 2nd catch of the afternoon.
Yeah, and we saw Mickey McGuire with the interception earlier on, with basically the same type of play going to B.E. Robo's side. But this time, Robo gets the step ahead on McGuire, gets himself enough space so that Utah can sling it to him, get a little bit of a jumping catch, and that's what Louisiana needs to progress this ball forward.
Cool 20-yard average on both catches for B.E. Robo at this point. The rush through the middle is not going to get much, but it will get a yard. 2nd and 9, the Streeter's taken down.
Yeah, and if Lone Star wants to keep... If they want to stop Reggie Streeter, they need to get him right away.
All right, we will be back. It's the end of the first quarter. 7-0 Revolution. We will be back in just a moment. It's the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on For the Fans. And back inside Stack Up Stadium in Houma, Louisiana. Chris Curtis, Brett Solberg along with you. Cameron Irvine, our producer extraordinaire on the buttons. We're ready to go. The Revolution now move left to right on your screen. It'll be a throw from Utah, nearly intercepted. That's thrown into 3 different Lone Star players, but it'll hit the ground and they'll get away with it.
Yes, in this SFL season so far, we've seen a lot of great throws on the run for impressive catches, but this one a little bit dangerous from Tommy Utah. Basically throws it right to the linebacker there, and he's got to be careful where he throws that next ball because it looks like Lone Star's defense is up and ready for the task to start off this second quarter.
5 wide for Utah, trying to find a way to get something done down the field. Utah to throw. Over the middle. That one's caught, found a seam, and a first down. Going to be to the 35-yard line. B.E. Robo, his third catch, gets him another move the chains moment.
Yeah, and it looks like so far in this first half, they're relying on B.E. Robo with these receptions here, as he's been the main benefactor of these Tommy Utah throws, and yeah, so far so good for Louisiana, as they currently have the lead because of Reggie Streeter's long runs, and now they're relying on the long routes from B.E. Robo. So good job on this drive to keep going forward.
See how long they can keep that up. Offside I formation for Utah, 4 on the defensive line. Handoff Streeter. Going to try to work it through the middle, taken down immediately past the line of scrimmage, and that'll only be a 1-yard gain. Reggie's averages are not very good so far this game. They've been able to use them out of the backfield to a limited success. See if maybe they put him in the open field that way again in the second quarter.
Yeah, it looks like so far it was just that one drive where Reggie Streeter had those 9, 10, 11-yard runs out of him that's been helping him so far. Lone Star doing a great job to adjust to that afterwards and stopping him right at the line.
At the pump fake, a throw deep over the middle of the field. It's caught and to the house. That is a touchdown for Louisiana as they go up 2 scores. What a bomb over the middle of the field.
Yeah, it's been interesting to see these Louisiana drives so far. The first set of points that they scored was a heavy dose of Reggie Streeter, and in this drive here, it was a heavy dose of B.E. Robo, this time getting a nice post route to the middle of the field, and it was basically a catch right at the 3. He just had to waltz himself into the end zone, and Louisiana doing a great job in this first half to get their offense going from both the run and the air. So right now, 13-0 Louisiana. Lone Star needs to respond quickly here.
Likely the pump fake that did a lot for that separation that Robo was able to get over the middle of the field. Extra point coming. And this one from Boudreau is on the way. It is up, and it is through with no issue. So 2-score game in Louisiana. Glory have yet to put any points on the board. However, they've threatened to this point. See if they can get that done. Good stuff from the Revs as they get ready to kick it back.
Yeah, and like you said, Lone Star needs to get it going here. They've been threatening once or twice in this first quarter. Now that they get the ball back here, they need to get some points out of this, because if Louisiana keeps going like they are, it's going to be a tough day.
The kick is on the way and gone. It'll be back at the goal line. Return to the 20, left at the 20 to the 23-yard line, and taken down there at the 23. If you're new to the Simulation Football League, the SFL combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. Lone Star on this next drive, 1st and 10 from their own 23. Fennec, right side, caught, and it'll be a quick pitch and catch to the 26-yard line. A little bit of a 3-yard pass, and that'll bring up second down.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if that's what Lone Star wants to do in this scenario here. They need to get Ace Fennec going here. He's only got 3 completions for 17 yards at this point. I would maybe look to go a little bit deeper. You've got a ton of receiver options.
Handoff. Like McBride taken down immediately at the 20-yard line. 24 is what they'll say before due to forward progress. Not much to it, and it'll be a 3rd and long coming up.
Yeah, Derek Jenko has been doing a great job basically making his presence known in this game so far. He's got a sack on Fennec already, and he's already pushed McBride back behind the line twice so far in this game. So a great job by this defensive line from Louisiana.
Something to note, nothing to Deuce Fennec yet. Nothing to Greg Soto yet, and that's going to be to the left. Caught, and didn't quite get the first down. 4th and inches coming up. That is a decent one, but not enough to get the first down. And that is going to be a 4th down punt coming up once again for Lone Star.
Yeah, Lone Star, I'm not sure if they're going conservative with these passing plays so far here, but a nice little sideline catch from the receiver there, and kind of tries to hinge himself forward, but just not to the first down line. And once again, Lone Star has to punt.
And Twins crew back to receive the kick again. This one is up and gone. Returnable from the 35, and it caught immediately at the 37. It's only 2 yards for Twin Screws. He gets the ball back in Tommy Utah's hands. They've got a 2-score lead, and Utah starting to find a bit of a groove with his receivers. 1 interception on the day, but that last drive, B.E. Robo, the impact player, and he absolutely showed what a game breaker he can be.
Yeah, and out of the 101 yards that Tommy Utah has thrown in the air so far, 90 of them have already been to B.E. Robo. So there is a potential for a great game coming out of Robo.
Handoff. Streeter through the middle, taken down immediately. Not much to it. 2-yard gain. Will be 2nd and 9. 2nd and 8.
Yeah, and like I said in the last drive there, Lone Star's defensive line, the linebacking core, they look like they've been focusing on Reggie Streeter more than anything, because once he has that ball, he hasn't gotten much ground to gain afterwards. So it's been a good work by Lone Star linebacking core. The secondary needs to respond.
In the gun, Streeter to his right. Utah has the football. Quick drop back. Looks, moves in the pocket, throws deep over the middle. That one's intercepted. 2 interceptions on the day, and Lone Star is going to turn it back over to them as they get decent field position from it.
Lone Star was seeing how many deep passes to B.E. Robo was happening on that last drive, and this time it was Bejen with the nice interception on that one. And Lone Star, nice momentum shift here for them. They've got the ball at decent field position. Now they need to capitalize on this, and let's see what Fennick and McBride and the receiving core can do here on this drive.
Albert Begin on the interception. We'll see where the glory go on this first play. Over the top, tipped, and nearly intercepted back the other way, as this one will hit the turf. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Almost had a little bit of a tennis game going on there. You know, with the interception going one way and then interception going the other way, the fans' heads would be shifting all over the place here. Their necks would get tired if that would happen. But basically, that tip drill once again bobbling to the ground there, and Lone Star with a fortunate 2nd down opportunity here.
And it was Ziggy Ronick, the intended target on that pass. Fenix under center. Quick drop, thrown to the outside, put it in McBride's hands. McBride will move left and get taken down after a 4-yard gain, make it 3rd and 6. Again, have to note, nothing so far to Deuce Fennick, nothing so far to Greg Soto, and nothing so far to Adam Williams, the tight end. So something to keep an eye on, not really spreading the ball around if you're Ace Fennick, and it's a little bit of a concern in my eyes.
It is a concern, but what's also a concern that Fennick is only hitting 50% completion so far.
That's going to be in the pocket. He's taken down as well. Part of it is because the pressure Louisiana's putting on, and they get another sack.
Yeah, that's Luther gone this time, getting the sack there. It's great pressure from Louisiana's defensive line there. Again, to give Ace Fennick a little bit of a rush to find his passes, but just couldn't find it, and Gone basically gets him at the ankles. And once again, Lone Star has to punt the ball away.
In the loss to Vancouver a week ago, Luther Gaunt did have a sack. He adds another one here. This one was nearly blocked, just 3 revs, nearly got to the punter. And this will be fair caught at the 38-yard line by Mike Twinscrew to bring out the Revolution offense once more. They have good field position again. Last time they had field position this good, they took it down for a touchdown. See if they can continue that here.
Yeah, and as you've seen so far throughout this game here, whenever Lone Star has to punt the ball away, it's been either around the 35 or the 38. There's been one punt that was already in enemy field territory. Like, Louisiana has had fantastic field position in this first half.
Utah to throw, puts it to the outside. Streeter in the open field. Spin past 1, breakthrough 2. Another spin, gets him past 3 and 4. Finally, the 5th Glory player runs through. Reggie Streeter knocks him down 1st and 10 at the midfield stripe.
And Louisiana was seeing that the ground game, the rushes up the middle and the stretch plays were not working. So why not do a dump pass and trust on his speed? He had enough space to get himself open, did a little bit of a spin move, got a juke move in himself there, tried to spin a 3rd time there, but got himself stopped, but it was still enough for a 1st down. So good momentum again for Louisiana.
Under center's Utah. Behind him is Streeter, 2 to the left. 6 in the box defensively. Streeter handoff through the tackles to the right side. Not much to that, just a 2-yard gain. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Yeah, it looks like they were hoping that Lone Star would change their defensive philosophy after that dump pass run led to that first down. But once again, the Lone Star line really focusing in on Reggie Streeter here to stop him with those handoffs, and that's exactly what happened.
Chance for Utah. Plenty of time in the pocket. Deep over the middle of the field. That one's caught. 20, 15, 10, 5 to the house. That is another touchdown for the Revolution. A great patient play by Utah in the pocket.
You know what's been interesting about Louisiana's offense so far is that the 2 passing touchdowns have been preceded by interceptions by way of targets to the eventual touchdown receivers. The first interception was directed for Robo. The first touchdown pass was to Robo. The second interception was intended for Garrison Blue, and then this second touchdown, Garrison Blue. So it looks like it's just they need to just slight adjustments on Louisiana's offense, maybe a little bit more of a burst of speed, and the receivers are getting open. So Louisiana doing a good job to adjust themselves and get more points on the board.
The Swamps are loud, no doubt about that. Stack Up Stadium is in a roar as the Revs put on a 3-score advantage with the extra point, but a great ball over the middle to Garrison Blue. Hashtag throw it to the tight end. They definitely did that. We have ourselves a 21-0 game in the second quarter.
And Lone Star, in this drive, they need to make some noise here. We've seen a lot of short to mid-route passes done by Ace Fennick. Let's see him throw the ball deep this time. Maybe give Mike McBride a couple of runs through the middle, maybe some stretch runs, change it up a little bit here.
And that will be sent about a yard deep into the end zone. Back to the 20-yard line, return to the 25 to the 30, room to go to the 35 to the 36-yard line. Great return for the Glory receiver, and that is going to get them in good field position to start this drive.
It was very nice blocking from the special teams unit for Lone Star to give Deuce Fennick a lot of space to run around. Once he got to his left side, definitely gave himself enough space to get a decent run out of it, and Lone Star now has good field position.
Over 5 minutes left in this second quarter. To the outside it goes, and that's going to be a quick dump and catch off to the right side. McBride's taken down. She'll lose a yard. 2nd and 11.
And Doug Day was basically keeping track of McBride the whole time through that pass. Moved himself down basically to the line to prepare for that dump pass, and Day was ready to go after that catch. Got to McBride right away for a loss.
Under center. Handoff. McBride through the middle. She'll have some room to go as she'll get about 7 back. 3rd and 4 coming up, just shy of the 43-yard line, still in Lone Star territory.
Yeah, that's finally a good, decent run from McBride here. And I shouldn't say finally because it's only been her 3rd carry of the game so far, but that's the positive momentum that they need. 3rd and short situation coming up.
Chance over the middle of the field. That one's caught in midair. The tackle happens. It is indeed a big catch over the middle of the field as Williams, his first reception on his first target, puts him in Louisiana territory.
That's a very nice thing to see, a long pass happening, and this time getting it to Adam Williams. Throw it to the tight end, and he just gets himself a very nice jumping catch, and now enemy territory for Lone Star, which is something they haven't seen in a while in this game.
First and 10 for Lone Star. Looks to throw it. Oh, pump fake does get it away. That's a problem. And nearly a jailbroken interception. Huge hit on Ace Fennick as well. It'll hit the ground harmlessly. Brian Craven got it and laid the wood.
Yeah, it was a huge hit to Ace Fennick there, and it was one of those perfect type of hits for the linebacking core when you see the ball kind of in the air with kind of like that duck 6 mile an hour kind of throw. In the air, it's what you want as a Louisiana defender, but Brian Craven, just too many Twinkie grease in his hands there, just couldn't catch the ball. Just a very unfortunate play from Craven.
Split backs. Ace in trouble. He's going to get taken down again, and that is going to be at the 47-yard line as the Revolution defensive line is all over it.
That's sack number 3, and it's the third different defensive lineman, this time Leonard Butler Sr. Laying the wood onto Ace Fennick there. Fennick having a tough time on this drive, getting hit a lot just on these set of plays.
3 to the right, 1 to the left. Ace in a long third down. Plenty of time. Throws over the middle, tipped and incomplete. Should have been intercepted. We have a score update. Send it back to SFL HQ in Cameron Irvine.
Thank you, Curtis. Mike St. Green, London strikes quick.
Yeah, Cam, London wasted no time coming out in the opening drive. Johnny Pickler finds Ben Callier in the corner of the end zone, and London jumps out early on Jacksonville, 7-0.
Jacksonville moving the ball, and inconsequential flag in Louisiana, but London on top of Jacksonville early, 7-0. Back to Curtis in Houma.
Sounds good. We are back here. It is indeed a kind of a whatever penalty, encroachment, so that'll be another 5 yards added on to the punt. 4th down coming up again. They'll retry the punt from the Glory. As the Revolution defensive line continues to be the story of this first half, they have really put Ace Fennick in some very uncomfortable situations as he's forcing decisions on the field and he's paying for it.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens there. You've seen 3 sacks so far in this first half from the defensive line of Louisiana. They're hurrying up Ace Fennick, which is just leading him to unfortunate situations here. He's 7 of 14 so far, only 50% completion so far out of this.
Although this will be nice as actually, I thought they had down that before the goal line. Not so much. It looks like they're going to get it at the 20-yard line. Bit of a surprise, but they'll take it as they start this next drive.
Yeah, it's just Lone Star looks the special teams unit, I should say. Just when they're grabbing that ball there, you got to stop your forward momentum after you catch on a punt there, and he just kept going into the end zone. And now Louisiana at the 20 instead of the 1.
Coming up on the 2-minute warning here in this first half. So 56 seconds away. Utah over the middle. That one's caught. And in between 5 Glory secondary members, he's going to have himself a catch. What a game for Tommy Utah as he finds another seam.
Yeah, this one was Chase Earl there. This one, I thought it was going to be an incompletion, to be honest with you, with all those members around. You could see 20 basically right there. Evan Lacey ready to go with that coverage there, but they find a way, and Chase Earl gets a catch, and it's another first down for Louisiana.
2.5 minutes left, 1st and 10. Split backs, handoff Streeter. Streeter going to try to run off tackle opposite side of the line. He's going to get taken down immediately. 2nd and 9, nothing doing at the 42.
Yeah, and the run is just not happening so far for Louisiana. So far, through the air is working though, but it's still good to see they're still trying to get Reggie Streeter kind of off this schneid so far in this first half. See if he can get like a long run out of them again, like we saw in the first quarter. But they need to get it going as we hit the 2-minute warning.
Indeed, 2-minute warning is upon us. 2 minutes to halftime in Houma. It's 21-0 Revolution when we come back to the SFL, presented by APM Music on For the Fans. Back inside Stack Up Stadium, 2-minute warning, come and gone. 21-0 Revolution, they have the football, moving left to right. That was nearly intercepted and taken back to the house as well. And very dangerous time, B.E. Robo, your target, and that was nearly a problem.
Yeah, Evan Lacey did a great job getting himself a little bit ahead of the play there. He was maybe a step behind, so maybe that was why he had that lunging SWAT attempt succeeded there. But nonetheless, it was a good stop by the secondary to halt any forward progression from B.E. Robo, who has been deadly so far in this first half.
Under center Utah, 2 in the backfield, split backs. Clock has stopped the incompletion. Quick throw from Utah. First down, it looks like. And no, they're going to say incomplete. 4th and 9. Didn't actually bring it in. Twin screw your intended target. 4th down coming up.
Yeah, it looked like when he got the catch there, the ball basically jolted loose by the defender there. As you can see, a little bit of a closer look. And again, Evan Lacey, once again, he's helping out this Lone Star team with these 2 stops here. And now Louisiana will have to punt this ball away. Lone Star now has an opportunity to score some points before the half ends.
And remember, Lone Star gets the ball back at the start of the second half. Punt upcoming as we finish this one up. Snap on the punt, a little bit to the left, but handled well, and that is going to be up and gone. Returnable from about the 20-yard line. He's going to be taken down at the 23. Coming up on the APM Music Halftime Report, Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green break down the first half of the Glory and Revolution. Check out the top 10 plays from the first quarter of the season and provide an update on the action going on in London between the Kings and the Knights. It's all coming up on the APM Music Halftime Report. Set to go for this potential last drive of the first half. 3 to the right, 1 to the left for Lone Star. Ace Fennick trying to find some bout of comfortability. This will be a pass left side towards the sideline, caught. Not much to it, but they do get the completion. And that is going to be a 2nd and 1 coming up as Soto gets his first catch.
Yeah, Soto gets his first catch there. A nice little out route to the sideline there. The key factor on this pass play here was that Soto got himself out of bounds, so the clock stops. Even though they still have a $1:42 left to go, you need to get all the time you can when you're a little bit deeper in your end, and you need to go down the field. So good play there.
2 to the left, 1 to the right. Fennick, quick one over the middle. That one's caught as well. First down in 10. Past the 41-yard line, still in Glory territory.
Yeah, and Lone Star had 2 open receivers there. You saw Dave Axis with the catch here, but Greg Soto with, again, another cross route this time going to the opposite side. He was also open as well. So it was a good set of options for Ace Fennick, and now he's starting to get going in this drive. 2 straight completions. 1st
and 10 again in the gun. Fennick has the football. 3-step drop right side towards the sideline. Caught, does step out of bounds. That'll stop the clock again. They're utilizing the sideline-to-sideline technique, and it's at least working the ace-to-deuce connection for the first time today.
Yeah, and Ace to Deuce gets himself his first catch there, and maybe these little passes, these short passes, these cross routes, out routes, going to the sideline here, maybe this will start getting that confidence back in Ace Fennick, who's had a rough first half so far.
And off through the middle, McBride. McBride breaks a tackle. She gets a first down for the Glory. Just past midfield into Louisiana territory. They run a no-huddle. Split backs. This one's going to be a pass. Fennick gets taken down, though. Another sack for the Louisiana defensive line. That should be number 4.
That's the 4th different lineman. That's Chance Wall on that one.
Another throw. Fennick, right side. That was caught. A lot of room in front of him as well. To the outside, to the 27-yard line. And Lone Star takes a timeout, as that is a great play right side towards the sideline, and it does stop the clock for Ziggy Ronick.
Yeah, and it's what Ace Fennick needed. He needed that forward momentum there. As you can see, 28 for Louisiana, which happens to be Rolliman Hood. He was a little bit risky trying to get that interception there. Just leaped a little bit too early, which led to Hronek getting an open pass. And now Lone Star threatening here with 40 seconds to go. This is good stuff for Lone Star to get themselves on the board.
At the very least, they're in field goal range from here. 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Play action. Looking to throw left side towards the sideline. Caught again. We've seen that play before. Soto, second catch and as many opportunities with that same exact play. It'll be 2nd and inches.
Yeah, with less than 45 seconds to go, that's exactly what you need to have there. If they're not going to go deep with this ball to try to go to the end zone, they need to get these short to mid route catches on the sidelines, get them out of bounds so they can stop the clock immediately here. This only shed about 3 or 4 seconds on the clock, so now they have 35 to go to get these points.
One to the left is McBride. Fennick has the football. Looking to throw. Throws a bit short. That one is incomplete. It'll hit the turf. Access your intended target. 2 receptions on 5 targets for him.
Yeah, and that was a little bit of a risky pass. It looked like it was heading straight for Brian Craven's neck roll protection pad there. Just a little bit of a risky pass. There was a receiver in the vicinity, but I would have preferred maybe just seeing if you can get another sideline catch. But nonetheless, a decent pass attempt from Fennick.
Offset eye. Fennick has a chance here to do something. 5-step drop, put it to the outside. Ike McBride has some room to force through a tackle. Not going to work, but it does get a first down for Lone Star, and they stop the clock as well with less than 30 to go.
It's a little bit unfortunate. They had an offensive lineman along with McBride to help her along the way, but the lineman went to the wrong defender. It looked like there. If that block would have happened, I think McBride had an easy route to the end zone there. Just a little bit of a lost recognition of defenders there.
In the gun. Plenty of time, put it to the outside, towards the sideline again. Nothing doing at the 4-yard line. Glory moving it. They're going to try and run a no huddle here. Only one timeout left for them. In the gun. Fennick has the football. Quick. Outside. Towards the sideline again. This one does get out of bounds with about 10 seconds to go. Soto is third catch. It'll be third and goal, sorry.
Back-to-back Soto catches down the sideline there. The first one gets tackled, and they had to go for a hurry-up there, basically going with the same play. Soto to the sideline. This time he gets out of bounds to stop the clock with 10 to go here, but they're just inching their way instead of getting themselves right to the end zone, and it looks like they're going to kick with 10 to go.
Yeah, they decided to opt for the field goal instead. Middle of the hash mark, nothing more than a chip shot from here. And it'll be a quick 19-yard chip shot field goal. Snap good, hold good, kick up and on the way. It is up and it is through. Important for them to maybe at least get a field goal there, get some points on the board. I still think they had some time to try a shot at the end zone, but that's between them.
And I agree with you. I felt like there was at least one more play that they could have had up their sleeves to get themselves to the end zone. They couldn't. And with how this week so far has been with kicking, with doink shots from inside the 20-yard line, like nothing's guaranteed for field goals this week. So personally, I would have went with one more play to see what would happen.
Twin screw to the 28-yard line to the 29. He's going to get taken down there at the 29-yard line. Still 3 seconds left, so enough time for Louisiana maybe to get one more playoff unless they decide to kneel it as we have halftime looming.
And we've seen halftime ending plays from a couple teams so far in this SFL here. One of them I can remember, Phoenix Jones, getting a 65-yard touchdown run to end the half. We could see another one here.
Under center. Plenty of time for Utah. Utah left side, trying to pad the stats a little bit. Does so as we come to the halftime whistle. Chase Earl, his second catch. So his third catch, sorry. So that is going to bring us to the halftime break. 21-3 Revolution over Lone Star. We're going to send it back to SFL HQ for the APM Music halftime report after the break. Stay with us on For the Fans.
Welcome to the APM Music Halftime Report along with Mike St. Green. I am Cameron Irvine. It is 21-3 at the half. Louisiana is all over Lone Star this afternoon. Your first half thoughts, Mike?
Yeah, Cam, a dominating first half thus far by Louisiana. I don't know if they saw something in the Lone Star defensive scheme, but they've attacked these guys deep. And B. Robo has had a big game. I think he has 91 yards in the first half, including a touchdown. Another big touchdown catch by Garrison Blue on a long reception. And Lone Stars, I'm sorry, in Louisiana, they're pretty much handling Lone Star early in this game.
Jacksonville's tacked on a touchdown. It's 14-7 now over in the London game. We'll get you updates and first half thoughts on that game when we come back after this next segment, which is the top 10 plays of the first 3 weeks of the season. And in some instances, maybe they're not plays, moments, whatever. It's been a memorable first 3 weeks in the SFL. And if you missed any of the action, here's a summary. Maybe. Mike, let's go to the London Jacksonville 14-7 at the break. What do you think of that? Or at the end of the first quarter, what do you think of that so far?
Yeah, it's been a shootout early in this game, Cam. London has scored on their first two possessions. They've attacked Jacksonville through the air, and Jacksonville's had trouble kind of slowing them down. How Johnny Pickler gets sacked, as we mentioned that, but Jacksonville has moved the ball as well on their first two possessions there. They scored on their last possession. The first possession was stopped by a sack by Gagne that slowed down their first possession. But I think we're in for a shootout from what we're seeing so far in this game.
Well, we should have some kind of score update after top 10, and let's see if we can get top 10 going now. Top 10 plays of the first 3 weeks of the season. Here they are.
The pass tackle was made by the rookie Biff Markham, coming up huge there on 3rd and inches.
Kick is away. Levy will field and spin. A.J. Levy across the 30 with room. Levy dances back inside and erases the lead that Tulsa has. The Sparrows score, and it's 16-all with an extra point on the way.
Levy not with the kickoff return last week for a touchdown. This week it's a punt return for a touchdown. And just like that, extra point pending, Falls take the lead. Great blocking up front, just absolutely not a hand on A.J. Levy to take that to the house.
You want to get as close as humanly possible. Yeah, absolutely. Hazard with a good spin move. He brings it to the outside, and that's going to be the ball game. Baltimore is going to ice it in overtime on the road in the Pacific Northwest. Baltimore with the win. Jimmy Hazard just following his blocks, going right up the middle. This Portland defense has been on the field a long time, especially in the second half. And just a spin move there, gets a big block, boom, right there. And there's nobody else. They can't reach him.
Just going to shed the clock to zeros here to end the half.
One more play, they do elect to hike it as Jones gets the call.
Oh my lord!
It has a foot race. He's down to the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. Find Phoenix Jones in the last play of the half, and 6 points to the board.
Make that uno, dos, tres for Phoenix Jones. Unbelievable way to end the half there. You give the man space, he's going to run a mile. And Phoenix Jones makes Las Vegas's defense pay, thinking that they were going to go unscathed to end the half. And then Phoenix Jones gives another 6 to Mexico City, and it's going to be all celebrations in the locker room with their halftime talk.
Jamal Wooding. They're not going to call a timeout.
They're going to walk up to the line.
11 seconds left in the quarter, and it's caught by Wooding, and Wooding with a stiff arm down the sideline. Oh, what a Jamal Wooding highlight reel touchdown, put that one in the top 10.
Just like they drew up the 2-minute drill in practice, right, Michael? They're walking up to the line. They're stuck in this offset I formation. And Dynasty, who has a second to throw it, throws a dime to Wooding in triple coverage. Wooding breaks the tackle, and then he's gone. Unbelievable.
That was a nasty stiff arm. It left Ray Rie on the turf.
minor leagues like Bryant Dynasty, it doesn't matter. It takes a lot of time sometimes for people to adapt. Here goes Redford.
Wow! What a run!
Redford is off to the races. Down to the sideline. Evan Arthur trying to stop him, and he won't. An answer right back on the immediate next play. Redford to the house. Vancouver right back on top.
Oh, God, what a run. Oh, God. Oh, we're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Another box office hit for the Natural.
Oh, God, look at him. And we didn't even get a full replay on this one, but golly. Oh, Andy Hamilton coming in there. And is able to flex there for the crowd at home. And Chris Curtis is loving every minute of it here at the convention in League City. But oh.
Low snap, kick is away, it's blocked! Oh, the Portland team! Oh, like what? That's a touchdown! That's a touchdown, Houston! What did I just bear witness to?
Excuse me? How? What? Sir?
Okay, let's break this down. The kick was blocked, a lineman ran up and got it, picked it up, carries it into the end zone, touchdown, Houston. Oh my goodness.
That was nuts. Credit to Terrence Smith, the tackle on that touchdown from the blocked field goal.
Bunch to his right. Merrill in the backfield. No tight end. Great pocket. Oh, what an attempt. Oh, yeah. He caught it. He caught it. Are you kidding me? What a catch by Serene Storm.
When that ball was first thrown, I thought I was going to get intercepted off the deflection, but Saren Storm kept his composure, looked around for the football, did not panic, and comes down with the big one.
To the right of the Pickler. Going down to the bottom of the field. Oh, that pass deflected away. Oh! What a catch. That's two deflection catch. This time it's Ben Callia.
And I tell you what, you know what? Despite the success that London's having on this drive, you can tell that Fort Worth has done their homework because they've been very aggressive on you.
Next week, I would not be one to play Vegas.
Yeah! Oh. Yeah!
I just did a shot with a hole of fame.
Yeah!
Hey! Roman! Hey, that's awesome. Hey, I'm telling you, you guys are great. All of you. All of you are special.
Now they'll start at their own 1 yard line, will the Aztecs? Very dangerous territory. Pressure coming. Wilson can't get it away.
He struggles on another tackle. He's still run. He's gonna run for the first down. Now Wilson's still going down to the 25. What a play from the 12-season veteran.
That's what veteranship gets you here. Las Vegas did an amazing job with the pressure coming from both sides.
Position if they don't. We'll see if this is a smart play. Burr with a 7-step drop. Looks to throw over the middle of the field. That's a catch. First down and more. Out to the 30-yard line. He breaks more, and he is to the house. An unreal play. Houston scores to give themselves back the lead.
DR Sim. Yeah, the DR Sim. That's what we expect from this longtime veteran of this game.
Man, that was a fun top 10, Mike. And how about Bovine's prediction at number 3? Did not want to play Vegas in week 4. And look at that. They won yesterday in an upset.
Yeah, his Hall of Fame speech was incredible. And yeah, to predict that, look to, don't play Vegas, and then they pull off a great overtime win, double overtime win last night over Vancouver, man. And but yeah, it was a great top 10, great Hall of Fame speech from Bovine. Man, Matt Wilson play, the get out of the end zone. The best QB scramble I think I've ever seen in this league. So, yeah, great top 10 to start off this first quarter of the season.
And Ross Napoli took a shot with Bovine, and now Louisiana's up 21-3. I don't know what was going on at that podium, but lots of good juju there. Hey, London's up on Jacksonville 21-7, but Saren Storm is out for the game with an injury. That's a big loss.
Yeah, it's a big loss for London. London has been moving the ball the first 3 possessions. They've yet to be stopped, but that's going to be a huge blow to this offense of London, with the 3 wide receiver attack that they typically like to have.
And they're already in the red zone again. London just having their way with Jacksonville at the moment. 21-3, Louisiana on top of Lone Star. We'll get back to that second half with Brett Solberg, Chris Curtis, Delaney Nash, and Hattori Hanzo, part of that crew at Stack Up Stadium when we return. This has been the SFL Halftime Report presented by APM Music.
Back inside Stack Up Stadium in Houma, Louisiana. Chris Curtis, Brett Solberg on the call with you this afternoon. Cameron Irvine, producer extraordinaire on the buttons. And we have Hattori Hanzo and Delaney Nash on stats, welcoming you back for the second half. Lone Star starts with the football as they have Deuce Fennick back deep for the return. He has it at the goal line. He'll bring it out as we get things started out to the 20, right at the 20 to the 25. Taken down at the 26. Ace Fennick spent the majority of the first half being chased in the pocket, Brett Solberg. And at this point, what do they need to do other than maybe get some help up front to maybe free him up a little bit to throw the ball downfield?
The big thing that we saw in this first half from Lone Star is I felt that they played too conservative, especially when they got down early. So I would like to see Ace Fennick take maybe a few risks because they've seen Greg Soto get open, especially near the end of that second quarter. Let's see if he can get to him.
It's right side, right away, deep and caught. Talk about the first play from scrimmage, getting him down to the 39-yard line in Louisiana territory. How about a play over the right side for Dave Axis?
Speak to me, for I am the soothsayer. Dave Axis with a nice little catch, a deep catch down the sideline, gets ahead of his defender there, which Rollerman Hood, once again, he's been a step behind on a few plays here, but like Louisiana secondary has still been fantastic in this first half. But this time, Dave Axis gets a step ahead of him, and he gets himself an open catch, and that's what Lone Star needs. They need to be a little bit more aggressive as they pass this football.
3 in the backfield for Ace Fennick. Looking to throw over the middle. That one's caught, not much to it, to the 30-yard line. And to the 29 is where they'll mark it, second in inches for Greg Soto.
A nice in route from Greg Soto to get himself a nice catch, basically right at the first down line. It's second and a chin hair for Lone Star here, and that's the positive momentum that they want. And I would like to see if they can get it to McBride on this play.
17 for 25, buck 60 through the air for Ace. That's going to be through the middle, and you called for it. Didn't quite get what she needed, or no, she did. 1st and 10 for Lone Star. Apologies there.
Yeah, when it's a chin hair, it's not really that much. So McBride, all that she needed to do there was basically push herself enough to get to that first down marker, and that's exactly what happened there. Fresh set of downs for Lone Star inside the 30. This is good stuff. A good start for Lone Star.
3 to the right, 1 to the left. McBride in the backfield. Fennick has the football. Quick drop, throw left side. That one's caught, trying to get toward the first down marker, pushing his way forward, and it's not going to happen on this play. But another nice ball, this one for Deuce, his second catch.
And already the big difference that we see from Lone Star coming into the second half is that they're getting much bigger gains from these plays here. In the first half, they had 3, 2, 4, 5 yards in each play. This time they're getting 8, 9, 20. It's good to see.
McBride in the counter play, not going to happen. Doesn't quite get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple, 3rd and 2.
Yeah, we talked about in the start of the game that both Louisiana and Lone Star have excellent ground game. Both teams averaging 100 yards plus per game entering this matchup. And essentially both running backs have been very limited by the great performances by both defensive lines and linebacking cores.
Ryan Krieger on the tackle on that particular play. 3rd and 2 coming up. Over the middle again. A one-handed grab and a first down for the Glory. Another one. This one for Greg Soto's 3rd catch of the second half already.
Very nice catch from Greg Soto there. A jumping one-handed catch. That's Stephen Hacker-esque, if I could say that. A very nice catch on that inseam to get that first down.
Now they're in the red zone at the 15. Looking to throw. Ace looks taken down again for the 5th time in this game. Louisiana doing work on that defensive line.
Give him number 4 for the day for the defensive line. Genko gets himself enough space away from the offensive line and gets himself number 2 for the game there. The Louisiana defensive line giving Fennick all sorts of trouble in this game so far.
2nd and 16. Lone Star still definitely in field goal range, but they would love a touchdown to get themselves back into this. Fennick with the football. Looks, throws, looking for the end zone. Got his man! That's going to be a touchdown for Lone Star. And it went over the top to make it happen. Greg Soto, the man of the drive.
That's good composure from Ace Fennick, I have to say. After getting sacked for the 4th time in this game, he calms himself down, reads his progressions, and sees Soto with a little bit of space open. He's been a reliable option in this game so far for Fennick and Lone Star. Gets himself a catch basically right at the end of the end zone line there. And now Lone Star, more points on the board. This is good. This is a great start for Lone Star in the second half.
21-9, maybe 10, as long as this extra point doesn't have any issues. They'll get it back to an 11-point game, and that puts the Lone Star defense on tap to try to get a stop from Louisiana. Snap good, hold good, kick up on the way. It is up and through. It is 21-10. Louisiana has the lead. We have a score update. Let's send it back to SFL HQ and Cameron Irvine.
Thank you, Chris. Jacksonville dug themselves a hole, but not going away, Mike.
Yeah, Cam, the shootout is officially on over here in London. Marcus Dunhill finds Shea Carroll down the right-hand side. He takes it all the way, 70 yards for the touchdown. Jacksonville cuts into London's lead, 28-14 in the second.
Tiptoes down the side. London's on the move again. Back to Louisiana with Curtis Solberg.
Good stuff from Shea Carroll down in Jacksonville as they try to hang in that game. Twin Screw gives the Revolution a good starting field position for this drive as we welcome you back into Stack Up Stadium. Chris Curtis, Brett Solberg with you. And Brett, Louisiana, I think it's important for them to try to keep momentum and trade scores with Lone Star. This becomes a rather large drive, one of the biggest of the game so far.
I agree with that.
Under center. Getting it to the outside. That one's caught, trying to get to the sideline and maybe a little bit forward, and that will work. Reggie Streeter is going to put them 2nd and 3 after a 7-yard gain.
Yeah, and with the running game not working for Reggie Streeter in this first half, only 31 yards on 13 attempts, they're going to probably start to rely on him with these dump passes here. A very nice dump pass, a good amount of space. That's a 7-yard gain for Reggie Streeter, and Louisiana gets the yards they need for the 2nd down.
Offset eye, Reggie Streeter again. This time he tries to get the rush, and he is hit like a truck at the line of scrimmage. The linebackers for Lone Star get up to and lay the wood.
Freddie Trammell, like a runaway freight train, just demolishes Reggie.
Sorry, I'll see myself out. Under center, handoff. It'll be to Streeter again. He's taken down, and that is going to be a 4th down coming. So Lone Star does their job. They get their stop, and now they have a chance to really make things interesting if they're able to get more points.
Yeah, and with the thing is that Louisiana still had decent field position here. We'll have to see where this punt goes. Because Lone Star, if Louisiana has a good punt here, they could send Lone Star deep. And so far in this game, Lone Star has had difficulty when they're deep in their own field position.
This will be a punt end over end. Get it back to about the 18-yard line. Caught there by Deuce. Nothing much to happen after that. So we have ourselves a 1st and 10 for Lone Star when we come back to the home of Swamps. It's the Simulation Football League on For the Fans, presented by APM Music. Big week 4 drive coming up for Lone Stars. We welcome you back in. It's the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on For the Fans. Ace Fennick to the outside, puts it right in the hands of Ike McBride. Not much doing. She gets taken down just past the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up, but this points not maybe required, but highly recommended for the glory on this drive prep.
You know what? I actually have to disagree with you here with Louisiana. They've been kind of up and down with their drives, so I would almost say points are necessary out of this, even if it's a field goal. So okay. Lone Star needs to get down the field as quickly as possible here.
Ace back in the pocket, taken down again for the 6th time today, and this one is Leonard Butler Sr. with his 2nd sack, 3rd sack of the day.
Yeah, the ends have been fantastic throughout this game here with the pursuit of Fennick. Fennick didn't even see Butler coming in as he was adjusting himself. And as he adjusted himself and tried to turn directions, Butler Sr. was there right away. And now Lone Star deeper and deeper in territory. They're going to have to throw it deep, I think.
3rd and 17. They got to try something downfield, or they give up on the drive, one of the two, and they just throw it short to give their punter some room. See where they go. To the outside. That's exactly what they're going to do. Throw it short, give their punter some room. They've given up on this drive. They'll punt it away and give Revolution some decent field position.
Yeah, it's not too bad of an idea there, but they're going to have to rely on the punter not to give Louisiana enemy territory position, essentially, here. He's going to be pinned pretty much deep in his own zone. It looks like, yeah, he's going to be at the 2 punting this ball here, so he needs a cannon of a leg, boot. Essentially. Yeah.
Yep, he needs a boot. We'll see if he finds one here. This will be kicked from about the 5. And it'll be fair caught at about midfield, just past it. So a 46-yard punt nets them a fair catch and a first down as Twinscrew brings it in. Now Louisiana with some of their best field position of the day so far. Not their best, their second best field position to start out a drive. Have a chance to really put some more separation between them and Lone Star.
Yeah, if you want to make Lone Star pay, this is the drive here that you have to make him pay.
Under center. Utah. Handoff. Streeter trying to find some room. Broken tackle. Gets to the outside. Tries to break a second one. Gets taken down from behind. And Streeter has himself 6 yards. Good way to start the second half for him.
The crazy thing about Streeter so far in this game, take away that one drive that led to him getting a rushing touchdown. That 6-yard play was essentially the best he's seen all game, essentially. So Lone Star has done a great job basically neutralizing the threat that is Reggie Streeter.
Another handoff. This one through the middle. Does he get there? No, not quite. 3rd and inches. Streeter with another chance. This one just short of the first down marker.
Looked to be the knee or the elbow of Reggie Streeter that just couldn't get past the line there. And you can see it there. Look how close that line of scrimmage is to the first down line. That's like 2 inches.
17 attempts for 39 yards. This one's through the middle. First down and more as they move the chains into Lone Star territory at the 38-yard line. And they do indeed get a new set of downs. That's their 4th third down conversion for the day.
Yeah, and if you need to get a chest hair, a chin hair, a leg hair to the first down line, trust your fullback. Hashtag give it to the fullback. I think that should be a new trend out there.
Under center. Throw it to the tight end is 1. Why not give the fullback some love? Under center handoff going left side, and that is going to be down to the 36-yard line. Make it 2nd and 8.
I think what Louisiana is doing here, instead of trying to make Lone Star pay quickly, is that Louisiana shedding some clock here. This has been already about, I would say, close to 2 minutes on this possession here. They're slowly shedding this clock away. They have 11-point lead at this point. Why not shed the clock?
Doing 19 left in the second quarter, or the third quarter, sorry. This is going to be a ball to the outside. Get it down to the 32, and no further than that. Send it back to SFL HQ for a quick game break.
Thank you, Curtis. London is shootout city, Mike.
Yeah, Cam, Jacksonville coming off of stopping London for the first time in this game. Drive right back downfield, and they find Jack Wall right across the middle for a touchdown pass, 28-21, London.
Kings trying to avoid 0-4, as is Louisiana, on a 4th down.
Yeah, nice tackle in the open field, takes down Streeter, and all of a sudden, Louisiana has a decision to make here. Long field goal, or do they try to pin the glory deep? That's the question. I would probably take the points here.
Yeah, it looks like they're taking the points here. Just going back on that play, though, Reggie Streeter, I felt like he had a lot of open field down the sideline. Made a spin move to the inside. Just unfortunately didn't get that first down. And here comes the kick.
Yeah, from the 31-yard line, it is up, and it is through the 30-yard line. So a 47-yard attempt is good. 24-10, Louisiana has the lead over Lone Star with only about a minute and change left in this third quarter, and now Lone Star again, points necessary for them to keep pace with the Revolution.
Yeah, and if Louisiana continues to the fourth quarter of what they did in this drive alone here, they're going to look to shed clocks. So Lone Star, they need to get some points, and they need to get those points as quickly as possible here, I think.
Kick up and away for Lone Star to return it. Deuce, 2 yards deep in the end zone, has it. Get it up to 15 to 20. And the ball's on the ground.
No.
That's a big problem for Lone Star, and Louisiana's all over it. What a mistake. And that may cost Lone Star a comeback attempt.
Yeah, and Deuce Fennick has done a really good job with the special teams run so far here. It just looks like it was just a right hit in the right place. As you see here, yeah, exactly what it is one of those hits to the stomach, which as a receiver you feel them a lot, and right, if you hit them in the right place, that ball's going to go loose, and that's exactly what happened here. Louisiana has the ball back and in threatening position.
Under center, Tommy Utah has a chance to maybe put a foothold in this game. Reggie Streeter through the middle. Not much happening. Make it 2nd and 8. This becomes a possible put-away drive. I'll be at the third quarter, plenty of time left. But for momentum's sake, Louisiana has all of it at this time.
Yeah, you give them a touchdown, and Louisiana is up 3 scores at that point. So they really need to get a stop here. It's a good start by only getting 2 yards from Streeter.
Utah looks, throws, end zone, touchdown! And that may be the backbreaker. Louisiana scores again in the back corner of the end zone. It's B.E. Robo.
And that's number 2 for B.E. Robo there. He was relatively quiet in that second quarter after having such an explosive first quarter. Gets himself involved in the end of this third quarter here, getting himself open past his secondary defender. And Louisiana, that's the touchdown that they needed to possibly break the backs and the momentum of Lone Star. We still have a whole quarter left to go here, but now it's a tough hill to climb for Lone Star. We're going to have to see how things transpire for Lone Star's offense.
Extra point up and on the way here very shortly. As this kick from Otis Boudreau is up and through with no issues. 31-10, Louisiana running away a bit as we get going in the end of the third quarter. Coverage of the Simulation Football League 17th season on Next Level Sports continues next Saturday. Same time, same place as the Florida Storm welcome the Mexico City Aztecs in the 12th meeting between old school foes at 2:30 Eastern. That drama will be followed by a Pacific clash between unbeaten Vancouver and top division challengers Los Angeles. Bonus coverage will include a rematch between Atlanta and London, plus DC visiting Louisiana. It all comes your way next Saturday on Next Level Sports. Of course, Vancouver no longer unbeaten. The OOT Thriller yesterday ends their 3-game winning streak, and they are 3-1 on the young season. Still going to be a good matchup with LA, a division matchup.
I'm sad.
Same. Absolutely same. Ball at the 23-yard line for Lone Stars to try to get themselves back into it. Not out of it by any stretch, but they really need some points as they have 1 quarter and change to do it. Handoff through the middle. Ike McBride taken down after a 2-yard gainer. Not much happening on that as we nestle down inside the last 10 seconds or so.
Yeah, and they're looking to get Ike McBride going here a little bit. She's been relatively quiet. Only her 8th attempt here, and she's only averaged 2 yards per carry so far. So it might be a little bit too late to get her going. Let's see her through the air, though.
A little bit of time. Let's see what happens. Oh, no, that's going to be another sack. This one, Ace gets taken down, and that will be the last play of the third quarter. 31-10, Revs in front in Houma. We'll be back. It's the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on For the Fans. Stay right there. Inside the fourth quarter of play, last play we saw, Ace Fennec went down to a sack, which is a lot today that has happened. This will be a chance to go long, potentially on 3rd and 14. Ace, left side, deep and caught, and they needed every bit of this. It is a touchdown for Greg Soto, and Lone Star gets 6.
We were talking about it during the break as to when Lone Star was finally going to break out, and it took him to the first play of the fourth quarter here. Greg Soto, again, getting himself enough space away from his secondary man. It looked to be Evan Arthur on there, and Soto just relied on his speed the rest of the way, and that's what Lone Star needed to get back in this game. It's still an uphill battle, but that's a good start. Lone Star now, after the extra point, only going to be down 2 scores, so they need to get themselves a couple stops from the defense, and they need to keep slinging the ball deep like they're doing here.
15-point advantage for Louisiana. I'm going to be knocked down to 14 as long as the extra point has no issues, and this game not quite over yet. If this goes through, it's only 2 possessions. Snap is high, taken in well. Kick is up and on the way. It is up and through. 31-16. 31-17, sorry, with 14 points separating these two, and that puts Louisiana in a spot where they have to try to enter that touchdown.
And Lone Star's defense, what they need to do here is just be the best defenders that they possibly can at this point. Stop Louisiana's momentum, halt it to a grinding stop, and give Ace Fennec enough opportunity to get himself and Lone Star back in this game.
That'll be up at about the 10-yard line, taken in at the 30, and that is where he's going to be taken down 1st and 10 for the Revolution. That is, APM Music is an unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection. State-of-the-art technology and world-class customer service, APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. Under center to the outside, it's going to go to Reggie Streeter. Spin move past 1, and he's taken down after 2 Lone Star players converge on him. It'll be a 6-yard gain.
There's a nice spin move there from Reggie Streeter, basically turning a 1-yard play into a 6-yard play there. And Louisiana, I like the conservatism that they're going to do here. They're up 2 scores, and I would love for them to shed a lot of clock if I were the coaching staff there, to give as little opportunity as possible for Lone Star.
Looking to throw. Utah over the middle, it's picked off. Lone Star picks him off for the 3rd time today, and it's about as opportune as you can get. How about it? And the Lone Star glory not out of this game yet. It's Albert Begin.
It's Albert Begin again. That's number 2 for his interception marks here, and that's the biggest one so far in the game for Lone Star. Tommy Utah has been a little bit risky with a few of his passes, especially in the first half. When you're looking at B.E. Robo, who's had a fantastic game throughout the entirety of this. So a nice recognition play from Begin, and now Lone Star with the momentum.
Chance for the glory to do something with it. McBride taken down just behind the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 11. Utah to this point 3 for 3, or 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, hit 16 for 23 through the air. Still over 100 on the QBR, which is something to behold with 3 interceptions, but he's had a good day otherwise.
Yeah, you take away those 3 interceptions, and essentially Louisiana will be running away with this. So it's been a good job by Lone Star to get them back in this game.
Ace to the outside. Caught, broken tackle, but then forced out of bounds is McBride. It'll be 3rd and long coming up.
And Louisiana's defense has been ready all game for Ike McBride. She's struggled throughout this game, has had only 15 yards on the ground, and has only had 17 yards in receptions there. So this has been an unorthodoxly quiet game for McBride.
Throws, right side, deep. That one is incomplete. That was close. Nothing doing. 3rd down turns into 4th down, and likely a punt for Lone Star.
And Rolleman Hood has been burned a few times throughout this game. This time being at a nice place as that ball was being caught. Basically was right swarming all over the receiver. on that, basically tackling him down before the catch could be made, so that deflected off his hands and into the ground. And Lone Star, it's not what they wanted, but it's still a good momentum shaker in this game.
And something to think about, 3 interceptions for Tommy Utah. Lone Star scored 3 points off of those 3 turnovers. That's going to be back at the 20-yard line, returned by Twins crew. Nothing much more. 22 is where they'll put him. Nothing much more than that. And Tommy Utah back out on the field.
Yeah, Utah has to shake this little drive out of his head, because there's still 9:20 left to go here. Lone Star is threatening. You just need to calm yourself down and find your open receivers. Offensive line is to give him a little bit of time, and he'll be fine.
In the gun, Utah has 5 wide. 4 on the defensive line. Utah to throw over the middle. That one's caught. Nice seams. Going to get it just short of the midfield stripe. 1st and 10. Chase Earl, his 3rd catch.
Yeah, we haven't heard too much from Chase Earl in this game, mainly because of how deadly B.E. Robo has been in the air so far. But Chase Earl has done a really good job getting himself open enough times to get a few catches here. And that's what Utah wants. He wants to get those open receivers and get that clock to keep shedding.
Correction, 4th catch of the day for Earl. Under center, hand off to Streeter. Utah doesn't go anywhere with Streeter on that one. Make it a 2nd and long coming up. Next Sunday on For the Fans, coverage of the Simulation Football League 17th season continues. And same time, same place as the 3-1 Houston Hyenas meet the 3-0 Queen City Corsairs starting at 12:30 Eastern Time. The doubleheader will also feature the Portland Fleet trying to take down defending champion and rival Denver. Bonus coverage will include Las Vegas, Baltimore, and St. Louis, Jacksonville. It all comes your way next Sunday on For the Fans, as that one is going to be not very much added to the totals. It'll be 3rd and 6, and Garrison Blue at least gets the play, but not much to it added on.
Yeah, and Louisiana trying to do that bend, don't break offense, but Lone Star also trying to bend, not break the Louisiana morale, essentially, here. These have been short gains for Louisiana. They're looking to go deep on this one here, so if they get a stop, Lone Star is in good momentum here.
5 wide, over the middle. That one is tipped and incomplete. Nothing doing. 4th down, and Louisiana is going to give the ball back to Lone Star.
Yeah, Lone Star's done a great job doubling down on their defense here. They had to go with a punt on their last drive, relying on their defense to try to get them the football back, and that's exactly what they wanted. That's exactly what they got, and we'll have to see how far this punt goes to see what field position Lone Star gets.
And Lone Star's field position woes have been documented. They scored a few points off of decent ones, but not great, as we returned from Deuce. Broken tackle, and then also tackled after that. Gets him down to the 30-yard line. Nothing much doing. To the 29 is where they'll start. You take a look at Deuce Fennick there. Haven't seen much of him in this game. You've seen more from Greg Soto, as Soto has a touchdown, a long one to boot. But a big drive here, obviously, for Lone Star, and I think it's necessary now they start chipping away at this lead.
Yeah, and I think this drive here, they need to go for quick strikes, quick deep strikes, to get themselves to the end zone. Give them as much time as possible to get back in this game.
Under center. Looking to throw. He's taken down for the 9th time today. It is Chance Wall again, as the defensive line for Louisiana continues to pound Ace Fennick into the dirt.
Got Leonard Butler Sr. with number 3, and now give Chance Wall number 3 here. They have given Ace Fennick such a tough time throughout this game. Like you said, number 9 on the sacks here. We don't see that many sacks in an SFL game. This has been fantastic.
So be through on the run, looking for Soto over the middle, but it's going to be well short. I think actually Dave Axis was the intended target. 3rd and long coming up, as Fennick in a real tough spot going up against a real stout defense.
Yeah, that pass looked like Fennick was kind of rushing himself because he saw the defenders and he didn't want to get sacked for double digits. So a little bit of a risky pass thrown there, but Fennick, he needs to shake these sacks off because they need him to sling this ball deep.
3 to the right, 1 to the left. Looking for it, right side. Gonna go towards the sideline, nothing much doing there. Get it to 4th and 10, and another punt coming up for Lone Star.
Yeah, the thing is, Louisiana secondary knows that Ace Vanek wants to go deep here to get as much clock as possible to get the football back and possibly bring this game back to evens. But the secondary doing a great job getting themselves in good position to stop these passes.
This will be up and gone. Get it over the midfield logo. Fair catch called for at the 39. Nothing much doing. Give Louisiana back the football. Get another game break coming up at SFL HQ. Cameron Irvine, your call.
Thanks, Curtis. Jacksonville trying to come all the way back, but Anthony Wyo says no to his former team. Mike?
Yeah, Cam, this London defense has been struggling most of the afternoon to slow Jacksonville down, but Anthony Wyo steps up big right here with an interception to get London, a chance to go ahead in this ball game.
2:25 left in that one. London is punting now. Bonus coverage of that game comes your way next after the conclusion of Louisiana Lone Star. Back to Curtis and Homa.
That's a ball to the right side. Pretty good one as well. Get it out to B.E. Robo. Robo's been very good today. 6 receptions, 118 yards. Has a touchdown as well. Nate Hall comes up to make the stop.
Yeah, and B.E. Robo, he's been relatively quiet in the second half here, but he still had a great game nonetheless with that 6th reception now to get himself close to 120 yards in this game. A nice position on the second down for Louisiana.
14-point game. Handoff Streeter. That's a first down. Was able to get it. That takes more time off that clock as this fourth quarter continues to tick away.
That's exactly what Louisiana wants at this point. You see Lone Star, they're starting to get a little bit momentum here. You stop them on their last drive, and now it's just to shed as much clock as possible and get this game as far out of reach as possible. Reggie Streeter with a nice run there to get that first down.
Just shy of midfield split backs for Tommy Utah. Handoff Streeter. Seeing a steady diet of him. A spin move's going to put him into a pile of Glory players, and he gets himself a lot of yards there, 8, nearly 9, and that'll get them in good spot, second down.
I'll give him attempt number 22 in this game on the ground here. We haven't seen a lot of big yards from Streeter here, but this time he gets a nice 8-yard run, gets himself in the spin cycle, gets his defenders in the spin cycle, and gets a great gain on this second down play here.
Under center. Handoff, right side, Streeter. Can he get there? No. He's short, 3rd and inches, and that's a big stop there, but a bigger third down coming up for the Glory defensively.
Yeah, the Lone Star doing a decent job keeping Streeter away from the first down line here, but it's very close. They need to get themselves a big stop here. This looks to be another run to either Streeter or Collier here, so they should be ready for it.
Yeah, Collier, I think, would be the target here. He's had a couple of really close third down conversions. And they'll go Streeter instead. Through the middle. Did he get it? He did. That's a big first down to get for Louisiana as they continue to tick the clock away.
Yeah, and Lone Star was definitely ready for it, but Streeter had the wherewithal to get his arms a little bit ahead. And Lone Star is challenging this, which I think is very smart.
Well, Lone Star with a challenge of the play. They'll charge a timeout if they don't get it. But this is an interesting call here, trying to get the positioning right. Looks like it was a first down.
Watch the elbow here. That's the main thing. Watch his elbow.
Oh, that's close.
Close. That is too close.
That's close. We'll see.
Wow.
It overturned it. That should make it 4th and inches if my calculations are correct, and it may force Louisiana's hand into a likely punt.
That is a huge challenge. What a gutsy call to make there. But it looks like Louisiana's still out on the field here.
They are. 4th and inches. Be interesting if they snap this. They do. Through the middle. Did they get it? They did. First down. What a gutsy call by the sideline for Louisiana to make that play happen. And that may be the straw that breaks the camel's back.
Yeah, and Louisiana's known for their gutsy plays every now and again, and this time, after a challenge was ruled overturned and leading to a 4th and inches here, this time they go for it on 4th down, and Streeter gets his way to the first down. And a free play here.
That's a free play. That's Streeter through the middle, jukes past. They're going to probably go ahead and take this penalty, or either that or decline it and let the clock continue to run, not sure. But either way, very good stuff from the Louisiana sideline, trusting in their offense to make something happen on that. The Revolution will accept the penalty, make it a 1st and 5.
Yeah, and Lone Star, you can tell the defense, they're really wanting to get that football back. And Jukin Rukin there with the penalty, unfortunately, was a little just like a half step too early on there. And Louisiana now has a 1st and 5. All the momentum on their side here as they keep trying to shed this clock, give Lone Star no chance in this game.
Lone Star cannot afford to give up points at this point. Just on the precipice of field goal range for Otis Boudreau is Louisiana. Split backs formation. Tommy Utah, handoff. Reggie again through the middle. Not going to happen. He will get taken down. 2nd and 3 coming up.
Yeah, and with them starting at a 1st and 5, a 2-yard gain isn't that bad, all things considered, because now it's a 2nd and 3 situation. They're still shedding the clock. It's not that far to the first down line. They only need to get to the 30, and they can just keep shedding away the clock. We'll see a lot of Reggie Street on this one, and probably another one here.
2nd and 3. Plenty of opportunity. Under center. Time taken away. Streeter again taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Lone Star chooses not to use a timeout here. 3rd and 6. I would assume if they get the stop, they'll probably use it then.
Yeah, and Jukin Rukin, a little bit of a redemption for him there to get to Streeter far behind the line, losing 3 yards on that one. And Lone Star just needs to make one more stop, maybe push them a little bit further back. That's still just, it's very close. I think they might be out of field goal range already here, but they just need to get one more stop and force a punt from Louisiana.
Maybe a 53-yarder from this spot. Handoff. Streeter might be able to get one of those yards back, make it 4th and 4 from the 34. It'd be a 51-yarder now, and I think that might be in range for Otis Boudreau. He puts this in. It's a 3-score game. You might be singing swan songs at that point. So Lone Star would really like a kick, or like to get to this kick if at all possible.
And it looks like they're going to go with Otis Boudreau's boot here. Even if it's a missed field goal, Lone Star is going to have to start at, looks like to be the 41-yard line. So not a bad decision from Louisiana.
From the middle hash. Snap is good. Hold is good. Kick is up and on the way. It is up. And it is through. Plenty of leg behind that. He probably could have hit it from 55 with that kick. And that is going to be a 3-point add-on for the Revolution. It's a 17-point game.
And with as much time was taken off the clock on that one, it might be the final nail in the coffin for Lone Star here. Like you said, it's now a 3-score game. If Lone Star has a chance, they're going to have to get quick strikes.
If they can make it happen, they will. They're going to try it here. This will be deep in, 2 yards deep in the end zone for Deuce Finnick. Deuce running ahead of his blockers. That's usually a problem. Tries to spin out of a second tackle and gets taken down at the 25-yard line. So here we go. It's 1st and 10 for the Glory. They have a long road ahead of them and not a lot of time to get there.
I think the option here for Fennec, if Soto's open deep, give it to him.
Yeah, he's been the hot hand so far for the Glory offense. Looks to throw. Left side, caught. It's an attempted interception. They're not much doing on that as Soto brings it in for a 6-yard completion and they run the no huddle.
It's interesting that they have trips at the top there.
Do it again. Ace, left side, caught again. Soto, again, 1st and 10 for the Glory.
They might get one more play out of here. They have to quickly get to the line.
That is not going to happen. 2-minute warning is upon us. 34-17, Louisiana trying to stitch things up in Houma. This is the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on For the Fans. Stay right there.
Wow.
Back inside Stack Up Stadium. Louisiana trying to hold on to a 34-17 lead. Couple minutes left in this fourth quarter. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Ace right side. That one's caught. First down and more. Down the sideline.
Nice.
Deuce spins to get himself towards the sideline. And Dave Axis with a great play as he toe taps.
Yeah, two great spin moves from Dave Axis there, spinning to the left, spinning to the right, getting himself more yardage than he probably should have, because with those two defenders, those are two big tackling defenders there. Sombre, and it looked like Evan Arthur there as well. And that's good. That's a great catch for Lone Star as they get into enemy field territory. They need another one like that.
Statistician Delaney Nash fired a tidbit at us during the break there. 9 sacks given up by Lone Star today. They've also punted 9 times. Just to kind of put that in perspective. Crazy amount of defensive pressure from the Louisiana defensive line. Ace is up, throws short, and not going to happen as this one's he's taken down. As that is going to get us to a 2nd and 10 coming up at the 43.
Yeah, and Treehorn there was right at the spot. It was one of those curl routes, the curl stop routes, I guess you could say, for one of the receivers there. It looked to be Deuce Fennick on that. And Treehorn was just ready to go, almost got the interception.
In the gun. Ace ready to go, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Looking to throw. Left side, that one's caught. And towards the sideline, another opportunity. And a no huddle time for Lone Stars. They're trying to get something done, 3rd and 2.
Yeah, Soto didn't quite get out of bounds there.
Looking to throw it. Right side, caught again. 1st and 10, they keep it in bounds, and they will continue to move the no huddle. They got to get a score, get an onside kick, and we'll see what happens after that. Ace, over the middle, caught to the 10, and he's taken down at the 11-yard line is what they'll say. They continue to run it.
Yeah, but the short routes beforehand are just killing the clock for them. They need to keep going deep.
Chance for Ace, right side. This one's going to be out of bounds. And while we have a second, let's go back to the studios for a game break.
Thank you, Curtis. The interception bug has plagued Marcus Dunhill in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Cam, just when you thought, the London defense was struggling stopping Jacksonville, they've come up with a hat trick of interceptions, including a pick 6 by Tanner Hendricks. But here we see Jeff Gagne coming with another big interception to slow down the Jacksonville drive. London's up 35-28 midway through the fourth.
Back to Houma, where Lone Star is trying to do the impossible.
Lone Star indeed trying to do the impossible. That ball incomplete. Puts him at a 3rd and 6. As that ball over the middle of the end zone, not quite brought in. These last 2 plays, 4 down territory, obviously, probably spells the game if they're not converted.
Yeah, and I think this play here, they need to get the end zone, because when more time is off the clock, it's a tougher chance for them.
Minute 3 to go. Got to make this happen. Ace, top of the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown for Lone Star. They make that part happen. The next part is a whole lot harder.
Yeah, it's Ace to Deuce. We haven't seen too much of Ace to Deuce today here, but they got it when they needed the most here. Ace with a nice job just being patient. That's the big thing here. You want to still be a little bit patient, even though the clock is still running. Deuce gets himself open, and Deuce Fennick with a nice catch basically right at the field goal marks. And Lone Star back in this game, and they're going to get the extra point and look to onside kick here.
See if they can add the extra point now. Snap is good. Hold good. Kick up and on the way. It is up, and it is through with very few issues. 34-24, 10-point game. Definitely an onside kick coming with a minute to go in this fourth quarter. Has to go 10 yards.
Yeah, and the big thing here is that a lot of onside kicks, they bounce high, and they go straight to one of the special teams units on the other side. So it's got to be a good kick from Purvis here.
It's up in the air. It is in the hands of the Revolution. That is going to probably seal the deal as this will be Revolution ball at the 36-yard line. Coming up on the post-game update, we'll send you to bonus coverage of Jacksonville, London, and then back to SFL Studios, where Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green will analyze Lone Star, Louisiana, and preview the remaining slate of games today, including the second game of our For the Fans doubleheader, DC and Mexico City. It's all coming up on the post-game update. Under center, Streeter trying to get the clock worn down. Plenty of room for him, and a lot of green broken tackles all the way down to the 30-yard line, and that is going to be a great run from Streeter to tick down this clock.
That's a big run from Reggie Streeter there, shedding a few tackles on the way. Just absolutely what they needed to keep shedding this clock here. I know that Lone Star has taken a timeout to stop the clock, I believe, but still, getting that first down, huge.
51 seconds left on the game clock there. As victory formation for the Revs, as they down it from here. That'll take the second to last timeout for Lone Star, one remaining on it. So 34-24, likely how this one is going to end. Louisiana gets off the schneid, which is the important part for them in this division. They're now going to be tied with win-loss against Lone Star, and they have the advantage over Lone Star. Two teams looking to find the upward staircase to the top of the table.
Yeah, it's been tough goings for Louisiana. Very close losses against Vancouver and Charleston this time. That's what they needed here.
Yeah, very good work from really the biggest story of this, the defensive line for Louisiana. It's been massive and has made a complete impact on what Lone Star was trying to do.
Yeah, it's a big adjustment from the last game as well for Louisiana's defense, because they allowed 41 points against a very tough aerial threat that is Vancouver. And Lone Star is just as deadly as a threat on the air. So they limited them to 24 points and basically shook all the momentum, all the confidence that Ace Fenech had throughout this game.
And that is going to get us down to the last 40 seconds or so. Another kneel down gets us to fourth down, and is likely going to give the ball back to the Glory, at least for one more opportunity. Lone Star kicks off next week against Sioux Falls. That'll be at Liberty Park. That is not going to be an easy game either. Sioux Falls, always a tough out on their home field. On the other side, Louisiana has DC on the horizon. We see DC later today against Mexico City. DC, an improved team from a season ago as well, but it's going to be every game from here on in, at least for the middle part of the season, going to be a must-win for Louisiana. Field goal up and through to add 3 more points and make it a 37-24 game.
Yeah, and like Louisiana, like you said, playing a tough DC team. I'll get to see them a little bit closer in person later today as I'm with Andy Hamilton in the booth. But Louisiana's going to have a tough time against DC, who has been very deadly in the air and on the ground throughout this season so far.
They took our Vancouver roster to the brink with that OT thriller a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So that was week 1, just to give you just to set the tone for what the season was going to be like. Up and gone is that kick. Deuce Fenech has the football at the goal line. He'll bring it out to the 15, to the 20. Spin move at the 21-yard line. He'll get taken down at the 23. So a chance to just add some stats onto the sheet for Lone Star as they try to end this game in a blaze of glory. Pun not really intended, but we'll take it. And there's enough time for one ball, and it might even be a run the way this is going.
Mm-hmm.
Due to the right. It'll be a throw. Ace, right side. That one is intercepted to end the game with an exclamation point. The Revolution win, 37-24. Your quick thoughts before we move forward.
Yeah, it was basically Louisiana being ready throughout this entire game and shaking basically all confidence from Ace Fenech. Like you said, 9 sacks throughout this game and having to punt the ball 9 times. They gave him relentless pressure throughout this game, and it shook Lone Star throughout the entire game. That's essentially the tale of this game.
Well, that'll do things here in Louisiana. Louisiana beats the Lone Star Glory 37-24 for Brett Solberg and Cameron Irvine and our statisticians. I'm Chris Curtis saying goodbye and goodnight. We're going to send you over to Eric Hiccups Vincent and Cade Inbound Stevens in London for the rest of bonus coverage. So we're setting the bonus coverage in just a second here. Actually, we'll let it run through. I guess we'll go and we will talk a minute. Give me your thought real quick, Brett. Player of the game.
It's going to be tough here because neither of the running backs were really big there. And Tommy Utah, even though we had a really good game, those 3 interceptions might do it. So I might have to give it to B.E. Robo on this one.
Yeah, I was thinking either him or Leonard Butler Sr. Going with the defensive line. They had a very, very good day on the Louisiana defense. It was a majority of the reason I think Lone Star couldn't get out of it. So that's where a lot of that went. So the game or the player of the game will be revealed in just a moment. We'll get you over to Eric Vincent and Cade Stevens on bonus coverage. That is on the way right now. And it is indeed B.E. Robo with the 2-touchdown performance. So we'll send you guys over to London now. It is Eric Vincent, Cade Stevens with Jacksonville, London.
Multiple seasons. This season has been a little different here for the Knights.
Yeah, it feels different. It feels different, and it looks different for London. And this just it's a different team. They're out here for blood. They're coming. They got the right guys together. They had great additions. They had a good draft, and you just gotta love what they've done in the offseason to put something special together. And so far, in the first 4 games of the season, what more could you ask for? London, they're out here. They're ready to compete, and they're ready to go.
Jacksonville trying to make things respectable here as Dunhill tosses it out to Jared Willis as we welcome those of you who are watching Louisiana defeat the Lone Star Glory over on For the Fans. This was a tightly contested ball game here across the pond in London, England, but London just becoming too much for Jacksonville towards the end of the ball game. Eric Vincent alongside my best friend Cade Stevens, Robert Garrett Jr., and Zach Holdorf in the stats truck, and London just enforcing their will here in the final 2 minutes of action, Cade.
Oh, for sure. And, Jacksonville, pretty good game up until, a couple points here in the fourth quarter, and it feels like they're just they're not far away. They're ever so closer to dropping to 0-4, unfortunately, on the season, but they have had some close games, and they've been extraordinarily competitive in a few different instances. They're not far away from getting there.
And Dunhill trying to air it out towards the far sideline, trying to find Grayson Willis. That falls incomplete. The London secondary been very good, minus a couple big plays over the top of the defense. Fourth and long here for Jacksonville. 1:20 to go here in the ball game. The Kings trying to keep this ball game alive. Dunhill going to air it out over the middle, and that's caught. First down yardage as Jacksonville burns their final timeout as they sneak inside of London territory to the 45-yard line, courtesy of Grayson Willis.
Yeah, what a throw and what a layout for it. Does Grayson Willis right there. I mean, you'll get a little bit of the instant replay right here as he just kind of goes down and gets the football, and nicely done right there. I mean, unfortunately, it feels like it's too little too late, but still fun to see anyways.
As we mentioned, Jacksonville trying to keep this respectable here. London just turning on the afterburners really in the final 2 minutes of this ball game. Nothing much they can do, Jacksonville, on their offensive side of the football. Too many mistakes as Marcus Dunhill threads the needle over to the Jack Wall for another first down. They go no huddle with no more timeouts to speak of.
Make this just a little bit tougher for him.
Dunhill from the gun, good pocket, going to air it out, and incomplete. Grayson Willis was the man he was looking for, and London able to bat the football down with under 60 to go here in the ball game.
Yeah, Tanner Hendricks has had a day. Tanner Hendricks was the lucky recipient of the London Express touchdown to the end zone on the pick six earlier, and has been all over the field in pass coverage in this game. Another fantastic breakup for him right there.
Had a pick six earlier in the ball game, another interception, and then another pass breakup. So, I agree with you, Cade. Definitely a banner game for Tanner Hendricks as Dunhill fires it to Jack Wall over the middle for a 9-yard gain. Again, going no huddle with under 60 to go. Dunhill again, going to fire it over the middle, caught inside the 10 to Jack Wall once again, 1st and goal, trying to add a touchdown here and make it respectable. They're going to spike the football here with about 33 seconds frozen on the clock. And still an opportunity for Jacksonville to possibly even this ball game up if they get a touchdown here and recover the onside kick.
Yeah, we're not saying there's not a chance. We're just saying that, boy, if it happened, it would be something.
Dunhill under center. Bunch receivers towards the near sideline. Short drop. Dunhill going to fire it. Finds his man. Marked down at the 3-yard line. 3rd and goal. I would imagine they would want to try for the end zone, Cade, to preserve any sort of clock that they have left as Dunhill is hit as he's thrown this time, and that brings up a 4th and goal with only 18 seconds to go.
Yeah, I was going to say I agree with you there. I think that your only shot should be towards the end zone. I think that was probably the plan, but big hit on Dunhill there, and the ball falls to the turf.
Final play of the ball game here for Jacksonville. Potentially. Dunhill, empty set. Going to take the snap from the 3. Fires it over the middle. Caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. As they will try and add the extra point and then see if they can get the onside kick with 15 seconds to go.
Yeah, nice little bullet over the middle of the Turner there. I mean, it all, I mean, this is just an absolutely massive extra point because they're, like you said, they're going to need the onside kick, and then they got to make a lot happen. Even if they get it, they got to make a lot happen in just a little amount of time. It's going to be, yeah, it's a long shot, but we'll see. It can't hurt.
Cards are definitely stacked against Jacksonville on this one. Extra point is going to be good for Jacksonville, so that will be a 7-point ball game. They'll set up for the onside kick. Non-contract kicker, meaning that, his talents are not quite as superior as maybe some of the star kickers that we see in this league, but we've seen weirder things happen.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's no better way to put it. You're absolutely right.
Norwood is ready. Boots the onside kick right to the London Knights, and that will do it with 13 seconds to go. Jacksonville with no way to stop the clock, and London will get their 3rd victory of the season in a shootout at home against the Jacksonville Kings.
Yeah, and Jacksonville made them sweat just a little bit. I mean, there was an opportunity a couple of different times where Jacksonville came back and tied the game at 28. It looked like they had an opportunity where they were going to go down and try to take the lead, and unfortunately, it was all downhill from there, but London, just fantastic job by them today.
London going to move to 3-1 early on in the season, approaching the halfway mark very quickly here in season 17. And Jacksonville falling to 0-4, as that will be the final whistle. 42-35, your final score here at Queensway over in the United Kingdom. London will go ahead and be on the road against the Atlanta Swarm next week. And we will see the Jacksonville Kings at home in Duval against the St. Louis Gladiators. We get a look at the final stats and highlights.
Yeah, as you can see, I mean, the statistic-wise, right around halftime, almost identical. And second half, I mean, you can see Jacksonville's passing yards almost doubling what London had. But what's crazy is the reason that is I feel like they moved downfield. They did a fantastic job getting down into the red zone and turned the ball over, unfortunately, 4 different times. Interceptions by Dunhill, and that was what really cost Jacksonville the game today. The turnovers they could not overcome. The defense stood up a few different times. The pick 6 that you're going to see right here by Hendricks, easily the play of the game for me for London. That was the difference maker, as you can see, 7 points right there. Fantastic job by London, defense, special teams, offense. They came out to play today.
Yeah, absolutely. And I got to agree with you. That was the play of the game by Tanner Hendricks, and definitely the difference maker. Because if you look at it, Marcus Dunhill has made some mistakes. The defense kept himself in the ball game. The offense did just enough to keep themselves around. And without that pick six, we've got a tie ball game. We're going to go into overtime, and who knows what happens in overtime.
Oh, yeah, anything can happen. You never know. I mean, Jacksonville can get the kick and take the kick back for a touchdown, and it can be that. But Jacksonville's not far off, man. They got absolutely a ton of talent, and they are 0-4. I expect that first win to come here pretty soon. London team is rolling, extraordinarily talented. They've got a lot going for them this year. Game plans have been good, and here they find themselves on a roll. And what a lot of fun that was. Johnny Pickler, for me, is going to be the player of the game. Just a fantastic day for him.
As we get a look at the player of the game, and it is Johnny Pickler, a very efficient game, 30 of 32, 274 and 4 touchdowns through the air, a 141.9 QBR. Well, on behalf of my best friend, Cade Stevens, Robert Garrett Jr., and Zach Holdorf in the stats truck, and Commissioner, Executive Producer Extraordinaire Cameron Irvine, my name is Eric Vincent. Thank you for tuning into this presentation of the Simulation Football League. We will send you back to the SFL studios following this commercial break. Thank you for tuning in to us here in London as the Knights take the win here at home. Enjoy the rest of the SFL action, everybody, and we'll see you next week.
Welcome to Sim Football Postgame along with Mike St. Green. I'm Cameron Irvine. Louisiana holds on to get the win 37-24 over Lone Star, and London holds off Jacksonville 42-35 in a shootout. Welcome back to the SFL studios for postgame. Mike, let's start with the Jacksonville Kings, who have now, dating back to last season, lost 7 in a row. And you were telling me at the commercial break, when did you think you'd ever say that?
Consecutively, it's really kind of tough to get your head around.
Yeah, it's tough to swallow, and to see them 0-4, it just doesn't make sense. I don't know how quickly they can turn it around or if they can save this season, but they may be running out of time. For Lone Star, on the flip side, they had a couple of big plays today, but the offense just couldn't get moving. Dave Axis was shut down. Good defense by Evan Arthur most of the day. We'll give him credit on that. Or actually, that was Rolliman Hood on the other side of the field. And Louisiana, surprisingly enough, did it through the air. Tommy Utah, probably his best all-around performance, and Louisiana's off the schneid.
Yeah, great performance from Louisiana today. The defense really stepped up. Hold on, Cam. Yeah, they were just reporting that Finnick was sacked one more time by Louisiana. Just a great performance by the defensive line today. Butler with 3 sacks, Wall with 3 sacks. Going along with a couple other guys that added in. I think 9 sacks total for Louisiana today. And the defense stepped up and made a difference in this game. But as you mentioned earlier, B.E. Robo had a huge game, 119 yards, a couple of touchdowns. It really seemed like they were trying to isolate Gunny McGuire on the corner over there, and they did a good job of taking advantage of that matchup in today's game.
A bunch of play action and 9 sacks, or a star-fronted line, I should say, for Louisiana as a recipe for disaster, i.e. 9 sacks. So coming up next, we've got Florida and Fort Worth kicking off in about half an hour. But first, D.C. and Mexico City here on For the Fans. An epic rematch not only of the Season 5 championship game, but from last season as well, as Mexico City tries to stay unbeaten.
Yeah, Cam, I've been waiting on this game all week long. As you mentioned, a great matchup last season in Mexico City. DC took them to overtime, but that was a young, up-and-coming Mexico City team. But they've started out this season very hot. They're 2-1 coming out of the gate. Their only loss was in the overtime thriller, 55-52 to Vancouver, and it took record-breaking performance from Tom Pepper to defeat them in that game. And Mexico City, of course, has started out hot in their own right, 3-0, 3 big victories, and they're led by early MVP candidate Phoenix Jones. He's second in the league in rushing yards at 540, and also has 8 touchdowns at least the league right now. So it's going to be an explosive matchup. I can't wait for these guys to get started.
Fort Worth also hoping they can stop their 0-3 woes. Jacksonville unable to do it, but Louisiana and Las Vegas have so far this week. And we'll find out as action resumes here in the SFL, presented by APM Music on For the Fans. We'll be right back.